I just finished meditating, and it's really interesting because the information I'm getting now when I go into deep meditation with my guides has shifted a lot. And I've been asking for specific dates for you guys. I got a couple, I got 4 dates, but it's not coming as readily, the information on the dates, because I can feel this hard shift into it's time to shift our focus, and I'm going to get into that as well. But it's very interesting. So here it is, just you, me, the notebook, and my Lord Farquaad hair today. All right. So it's November 20th, by the way. What I heard was some people have already convinced themselves of the truth despite the data, and that can go either way. And I sat on that for a long time trying to decide if I was even going to share that. And I think it's good to share that because it's true, right? Some people have convinced themselves of the truth despite the data. And you can look at that from an intuitive standpoint, right? Like I'm letting my intuition lead the way. I'm letting my intuition be the data. Or you can look at it as the other side, right? We're looking at the numbers that other people are telling us, and that's the data. And either way, you've already convinced yourselves of the truth. And I think really what the point here is that you're not going to change people's minds. People need to come to this conclusion, whatever conclusion they're going to come to on their own. You're not going to convince them, right? So we don't have to defend ourselves. We can just quietly enjoy this energy knowing that we are moving towards something else. So anyway, very interesting first sentence from the guides there. And then I heard, be what you wish the others were in 2020. Because I was asking about the energy of, what's the best course of action for us right now. I know there's a lot of anger on the red side right now, and a lot of empty threats and just a lot of things going on. And so I asked, what should we do? And it's just be what you wish the others were in 2020, because now the tables are turned and we are saying the election is not correct when they were the ones saying that in 2020. So behave how you wish they behaved when they genuinely believed that the election was stolen. Okay. All right. So, and again, I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. If you don't believe this is not for you, and that's totally okay. All right. I'm just sharing the downloads. Here's some of the dates. 11/20, which is literally today, and it's 5 p.m. I was meditating at almost 5 p.m. It's 5:12 right now, Eastern Standard Time. So it's wild that I got anything. I haven't looked at the news at all today, not even once. A statesman will show their true face. A mask comes off of their own accord. That's all it said. A statesman will show their true face. A mask comes off of their own accord. I tapped into this energy. It felt masculine. That could be a man, or it could just be a more masculine woman. It doesn't matter. It just felt masculine. But it feels like they dropped the act, they dropped the mask, and they're just like, forget it, right? I'm just going to show everybody who I really am. And it just said a statesman is all it said. So 11/21, Donald J. Trump. I literally heard the whole name. It was wild. Oh, my third eye. I can feel the pressure in my third eye right now from that. Donald J. Trump flashes in jealousy. Like you can see this, like, I saw this like gut instinct thing that happened to him where he didn't mean to, but he dropped the nice guy act and he just got really, you could see it in his face, got furious. So flashes and jealousy. And then I saw an orange flash, which I see the irony, but it was literally the actual color orange. And then I asked what the orange was and I heard chakra. I was like, oh, and then I saw the flash go like this and then it broke. So broken orange chakra, which is the sacral chakra, that's your emotional like needs center. Relationships is what stood out to me. So he starts a feud is what I heard after that. So I worked through, that's the whole process that I worked through. So you can know what I got to. He starts some sort of feud. Now again, remember, I'm just going to pause. I got 2 more dates here. We do not always hear these things in real time as the public. Some of these things we hear after the fact, and it's like, oh, on this date, this thing happened, right? So if you don't hear about it as a member of the public, it doesn't mean something hasn't happened. It just means you haven't heard about it. We have to be patient, you guys. That is a high vibration to be patient. So lean into that high vibration you want to be. Be patient, okay? 11/22, I just heard race to the Senate. Race to the Senate. It felt like somebody somewhere, and again, the details are starting to not be as concrete because I'm feeling this pull to go somewhere else, and I will tell you about that in a minute. But it feels like somebody somewhere is racing to make sure that their votes count. It's like a panicked feeling, like a panicked, oh my God, we have to do this before the deadline runs out, kind of an energy. We have to do this now before it's almost like before they find out, or not definitely that, or before this deadline happens. It's like a panic, like there's something there that's going to change the energy if we don't just do it now and complete this action. So a race to the Senate. 1123, military reaction, not action, a reaction for somebody that's already at war. So it's not the United States. And I try to tap in and see, and I wasn't being shown. I was shown several things of several different countries, but I wasn't shown who this was about. It's like a retaliation. There's gonna be some sort of military retaliation for somebody that's already at war against somebody else. All I heard. Okay, so this is the rest of the message. This is the really interesting part. I heard, this is all starting to go to automatic writing. This is when I opened my eyes and I just started writing, and I kind of phased out. Sometimes I even just closed my eyes. Focus on yourself, turn inward. You must be ready for the shift for a smooth transition. And I asked, what do you mean by shift? And it just felt very like Kamala centered. Again, that's all I got, because again, focus on yourself. It's time to turn inward. It's not time to be focusing on every single detail. Yes, we want to watch the trend. That is important, you know, for your own psyche if you're watching these details and that's important to you, but not every single little detail, right? Don't be scouring every conspiracy theory on the internet, because that's not what this space, this liminal space is for. It's to focus on yourself, turn inward. When you are focused on fighting, you will only find fighting within yourself. This then projects out and causes more fighting. It's a snake eating its own tail, right? So don't be focused on the fighting, because that's all you're gonna freaking find. You'll never get out of that cycle. You cannot find peace in anger. You cannot find love in hate. So if you're looking for peace, you have to start there. You have to look for peace. If you want love, if you want to see more love in the world, you can't be focusing on the hate that you see or that you feel. This is a crucial time to shift and heal. Rise up to the occasion. We as in the guides, like all the spirit guides. I said, what do you mean by we? Because it was bigger than my spirit guides. It was like all the spirit guides. We cannot save you, but we can support you while you work to save yourself. And just something I know as a psychic who channels guides literally professionally all the time is that they can't save us because that's not their job. That's not their role, right? Them saving us would be the equivalent of a teacher taking a test for a student. You don't learn anything. You don't move through the energy. We chose to come here. We chose to set up lessons for ourselves. We chose to have this energy we wanted to move through. And if our guides solve the problems for us, they rob us of that opportunity to grow. So they can't, that's defying our own free will as a higher self. They cannot save us. But again, they said we can support you while you work to save yourself. And then I got these 3 steps of what we can do right now in this transitionary time. And they said moving forward, but especially now it's very important. Number 1, be kind. If you cannot be kind, there is an energy there that doesn't fit this new version of you. The only way to free yourself is to look at it directly in the eye. You have to confront it, right? To move through it. Can't ignore it. Number 2, be love. You do not give love. You are love. You are love. Allow yourself to remember this is for you as much as for them. Number 3, be honest with yourself first, and then that will flow to others. You cannot ignore what you feel to be true and expect to change anything. And just a little bit more. Holding on to the energy that has hurt you only serves to anchor you in that same vibrational place. Face it to move through it so you can release it. It was never yours to carry. Now is the time to fly. What a good sentence for them to end on. And then the connection closed. Now is the time to fly. Let me know what you think.